Hi, I'm Alice Short, features editor at the LA Times, and today I'm talking with Booth Moore, LA Times fashion critic. Booth, I know that you get to see a lot of gorgeous things in your job, amazing designer clothes and accessories and shoes and stunning models. But recently you spent some time at Couture Las Vegas, which is an amazing jewelry show, both in scope and quality. I'm hoping that you can give us an overview of some jewelry trends and then perhaps get into some detail about some of the amazing baubles that you were able to observe. So what was the big takeaway in Las Vegas?
Well, the mood was really upbeat because the economy is kind of on the rebound finally, and gold prices have decreased, and that's really opened up an opportunity for designers to create, bigger and better, flashier pieces. And so it's really kind of a return to the dynasty era, if
Fabulous.
you can, for better or worse. Yeah.
So what does that mean, say, just in terms of gold, literally?
Yeah, I mean, we're really seeing a return to big, chunky chains. I mean, it's kind of, it was a 90s moment, gold chains and chunky bracelets with there's one designer, Farion Manella, who does these sort of bullet-shaped settings with fine stones in them. And, all of these pieces, of course, are, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. But gold, the bigger the better. That is a huge trend.
When might we see these things available retail?
Some of them are available now, and some of them are going to be available in the fall. But the other thing to say about gold is that it's really being done in a lot of different colors. Rose gold is particularly popular right now.
Right, gorgeous stuff.
Yeah.
So what else? After big, bold gold, what else?
Well, opals are a really hot stone, and they have been for a few years. There's a designer in Los Angeles, Irene Neuwirth, who considers them finer than diamonds.
Yeah,
and opals, I think, they just sort of they transfix you. They're beautiful stones. And for a while, back 20, 30 years ago, they were really sort of tchotchkes. I mean, you would think of them as a souvenir that you get in Australia, maybe not a very interesting setting, but the way Irene is doing them and some other designers is really using the organic forms and balancing them in interesting sort of sculptural ways, and also really bringing out the color of the stones by mixing them in creative ways.
So that's interesting. It feels to me like it's part of that whole overarching trend that's been going on for a while about raw stones, or stones that aren't cut much, or stones that aren't polished much.
Definitely. What was one of the interesting things that I heard was people are really making jewelry that almost looks like costume jewelry, but it costs hundreds of thousands of dollars, and people are fine wearing that. I mean, it's kind of thing where you could wear a necklace to the grocery store, and someone might ask, where can I get that? Like Forever 21, but really it's something that costs $100,000. But I think it's also just a trend toward making a creative, personal style statement with jewelry, more than it just being a statement of kind of, I spent this much money and this is the brand type thing.
So you also saw some very unusual adornments when you were there. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I think that the hand is really a new focus of unusual adornments. Chains that kind of cover the whole hand, and hand pieces that are bracelets that connect to rings. And I think one of the reasons, obviously it's untapped real estate to a certain extent, but also I think it's reflective of a focus on social media and people using their hands so much more, and that kind of being a place to adorn, and it's also nice because it's the kind of thing where you get to enjoy the jewelry that you're wearing, as opposed to a necklace or a pair of earrings that you don't get to see.
It feels sort of gothic,
like
fingerless gloves or something.
Yeah, definitely. And we saw rings that cover several fingers, and knuckle rings, and ear cuffs were big on the runway earlier this year. So it's adorn everywhere and anywhere, I guess, is the message.
Right. Knuckle rings.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh. They feel, well, I mean, that's, I guess, a natural segue into one-of-a-kind pieces, and I think you saw a lot of those there as well.
Yeah, I mean, particularly in China, where the consumer base is just, the money's flowing. I think there's a desire for one-of-a-kind pieces that you're not going to see on anybody else. And there are several designers that I encountered at the couture show who are really creating pieces that are almost sort of jewelry/artifact. One designer, Kumi, uses Mesopotamian arrowheads to to create pieces. Yeah, I know. To create, sets them in bracelets and earrings. And there's another designer who actually, Monique Pien, who uses fossils. She started using dinosaur bone, and it makes for some interesting looking jewelry, and also a piece of history. I guess you're wearing the Jurassic age. That's really vintage.
Yeah, that's interesting. No one else can have it, just you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow, wow. So going from the Jurassic age to butterflies.
Right.
That's kind of an abrupt change, but I think you did see a lot of butterflies in Las Vegas.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a perennial theme for jewelry designers, I think. But again, speaking of China, it's a symbol of love and young love in China. So I think it's become also a popular theme to revisit in fine jewelry right now. And yeah, I mean, just incredible pieces, from this necklace by Damiani that's something like over 400 carats of stones in butterflies around the neck, to Pasquale Bruni's butterfly ring that dangles a little stone on your finger.
Grocery store, right?
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
So a lot of amazing eye candy.
Nice. So obviously you encountered a lot of people there, people who are in the press, people who are selling, buying. What was the buzz?
I think, again, the buzz was that this is really a boom time for jewelry design, and whereas because gold prices had been so high, jewelers were turning to other materials for a while and launching silver collections and using copper and other materials in their pieces. Now it's kind of the bigger the better, and sky's the limit as far as expense too. So it was exciting, and I felt like there are a lot of new designers on the scene, and a lot of creativity too.
Fantastic. Booth, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge about all this great new gorgeous stuff. And for more on this story, we hope you'll go to latimes.com/image.